When the Cavaliers traded away Kyrie Irving a little more than 3 years ago, they did not exactly secure a bonanza in return. Forget what, say, Oklahoma City got for trading away Paul George. In fact, forget what Oklahoma City got for trading away Russell Westbrook to Houston. The Cavs got two players who aren't in the league anymore, plus Jay Crowder, who now plays in Phoenix, and the rights to a single draft pick, what would end up being the number 8 slot in 2018. LeBron would later say the Kyrie trade also cost Cleveland, well, him. That as soon as that deal was made, it was, quote, the beginning of the end for everything. All of which is to say, that is a lot of pressure to put on the player who would become that number 8 pick, Collin Sexton. And for large stretches of the past couple seasons, Sexton has looked, well, much like you would expect. A promising kid who was allergic to passing on a rebuilding team with a revolving door of teammates and coaches. J.B. Bickerstaff is, in fact, Sexton's 4th coach in 3 seasons, which is crazy. And honestly, until last night, there were plenty of casual NBA fans who, if they knew Sexton existed at all, it was because of the nickname that's been given to the Cavs backcourt. Oh, yes, it's Zach Lowe's favorite NBA phrase right now, Sexland.
Sexland.
Boom. You know, Collin Sexton, teammate Darius Garland, Sexland. Get it? Zach does. Anyway, while the Cavs have already made remarkable strides under Bickerstaff, it certainly would have been understandable for anyone looking at last night's schedule to see Nets-Cavs on the docket and think Cleveland was going to serve as little more than a speed bump for the 1,000-horsepower monster that is Brooklyn's new Big Three. This was Kyrie's first game playing alongside Kevin Durant and James Harden, and also Kyrie's only his second time back in Cleveland since the Cavaliers traded him. In fact, Kyrie's return was a big enough deal, the Cavs played a tribute video for him, to which Kai responded by smiling at the fans, showing off his ring finger. Bottom line, everything was set up for a coronation, and it sure looked like one when the Nets stormed out of the gate, knocking down 10 straight shots to open the game, including that beauty. Kyrie does, well, that. Defensively for the Nets, though, yeah, not so much. The Cavs had come into the game with the NBA's worst offensive rating, yet against Brooklyn, they shot 50% from 3, scored 64 points in the paint. They had 7 players in double figures as the game pushed into double overtime. And Sexton in particular was a monster, finishing with 42. There was a stretch of 1 minute and 30 seconds of game time in which he'd score 11 all on his own, taking and making 3 contested three-pointers. Sexton would finish with 15 points in the second overtime, pushing the Cavs to the win and sending the Nets into some post-game introspection.
We had breakdowns all over the place, so we got a lot of work to do. I think we know that. We know that we have a very offensive team right now, so we have to find ways to defend, to get connected, to be on the same page, and that's going to take some time.
It's learning from your mistakes, learning from the losses, and not making the same mistakes 2 times in a row. So, we got a long way to go, but I think we're in the right direction, and we got some film to watch. And defensively, we got to be a lot better, and offensively, I think we still had 135 points. So, just correct some things on our switching and our defensive principles.
I do think the Nets can correct some things and figure it out, and this game can be a building block for them. But it was also a building block for Cleveland, who would welcome a return to even the bottom of the East playoff bracket after what's been happening there the past few seasons. And for Sexton, whose career started in the nearly impossible position of having to balance out a trade that sent out Kyrie Irving and chased away LeBron James, it was a chance to make more of his own mark, a lights-out performance on a national stage. And for one night, that was enough. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.